And we're live. Had a little technical difficulties getting into you guys this evening, but we're finally here. Coming at you live from Dan's apartment here in Savannah, Georgia. Dan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Braxton, it's good to see you. Quick turnaround, which we're happy to do after a pretty long hiatus from recording. So, want to bring content to you. You got Woody Lou, sports, and you, and Braxton. As you know, it's time for a little housekeeping. We missed it off the start to our last episode. So just to get it out of the way, the views expressed by the hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Department of Defense, the U.S. government, or any of its agencies. The information provided is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. No attorney-client relationship is formed by providing this information, and nothing herein should be relied upon as legal counsel. For legal advice specific to your situation, please consult a qualified attorney.
All right, we got that out of the way. So, tonight we decided to go head-to-head with Thursday Night Football because we didn't think, the Commanders and Eagles going head-to-head, one at 7-2, Commanders at 7-3. Is going to be any competition for Woody Lou Sports and You. So we went ahead and sent it. Dan, you think it's going to play out well for us or no?
No, I don't think going head-to-head with Thursday Night Football was the best decision for our fledgling podcast, but Producer Colin, I think we need to get into that real quick.
So some might say, if you had a producer who took his role very seriously, he would have advised against going live against Thursday Night Football when you got the Commanders and Eagles playing in a very critical matchup. But producer Colin decided to actually skip his job here with us this evening so that he could watch Thursday Night Football because he's a Commanders fan. So he goes to Disney World, he does all the rides and does the thing, spends all the money, and then he immediately misses the next show because he's convinced that this game is going to set a real precedent in the future Commanders football. So I hope it was worth it, Colin. I hope you're watching the game in a better environment than we're watching the game because we are also watching every play right now a foot away from us. So I know you would have missed it here, but we hope you're enjoying it, buddy.
So Gavin's $7.25 an hour contract is being drawn up as we speak due to producer Colin's absence.
I think Colin and Gavin might be in cahoots because it's getting to a point where I'm open to raising Gavin's hourly rate up 25 cents every episode that we don't have Colin. So the leverage is there for Gavin. I think.
Gavin says.
I think we might give Colin one more opportunity, but if Colin doesn't,
strike three.
I mean, if he doesn't, he got to punch that car to get to work. You know what I'm saying? He ain't punched that car. Now ain't a lot of holes in that car lately. So might have to hire Gavin. He's a big remote worker guy. I know Gavin has a good job. I think he works remote a little bit, and I think he enjoys that. So really no change to his daily schedule, Dan.
I think it's going to be a good setup.
Yeah, so obviously we're here. Thursday Night Football is going on. It is a big game. You got the Commanders against Jalen Hurts. Currently a little play-by-play for you. The Eagles are driving right now. Got the ball first here in the first quarter. So no score. So we'll be keeping you updated with that as we go on. Now, like we said, producer Colin's not here. So once again, show prep in our pre-production meeting. Hard to run that pre-production meeting without the producer. Going off the rails again a little bit tonight, but I think you're going to enjoy it. I wanted to follow up from our last show when I said that I was not afraid of Cooper Flagg in that Duke-Kentucky matchup.
The man from Maine.
I was not afraid of him. I said, so not worried. Dan, was I right or was I right?
You're right. The presumptive overall number one pick, he didn't perform in the national spotlight nor in really important minutes of the game.
No, so I think the thing, obviously Kentucky comes back and erases a 9-point deficit at the half to win the primetime game, the Champions Classic. Now, Cooper Flagg, he did, I think, drop 26 and 11 or 26-13, something like that. He had a double-double.
He's going to get his numbers.
He's 17 years old. He's going to be the number one pick. Guy's legit. But it was cool because that age kind of came out in those last two drives whenever we saw Cooper Flagg turn the ball over twice, which obviously led to a Kentucky victory. So we're happy for that. Again, like I said, not worried about 17-year-old when you're playing grown men. The landscape of college basketball is changing. and deferring for that age it's proved well for the teams who've made it far. Most notably UConn, who they usually mix in an older roster with a couple young studs. But I was happy to see the Cats come out on top.
Yeah, Mark Pope is hope. Going up against a fellow national champion in John Shire. So, I mean, it was, again, like you said, exciting basketball early on in the season. Wish it was like a little bit later so it really could take the forefront of the national sports, I would say, broadcast media attention.
I agree. Did you watch the whole game, Dan?
No, I did not. I go to bed pretty early.
Fair. So, in the beginning before the game, after they did the starting lineups, they called Mark Pope and John Shire to center court for the interview. Did you watch that?
I did watch that, yes.
Was that awkward or was that awkward?
It was so awkward.
Like, they didn't really know what to say. They were awkwardly standing there like, hey, my guys are about to tip. I'm Kentucky. I'm Duke. Like, we're not talking right now.
Yeah.
But ESPN really forced it, and I didn't like it. And I really was hoping one of them would be like, I don't know why I'm doing this right now. I got a ball game.
That's like across all sports too. I've noticed it, like especially, in baseball most recently. They have baseball acknowledged problem of engaging a younger audience and doing the interviews from the dugout while play is going on. There was in the World Series, Aaron Boone was like a hot mic when Aaron Judge hit a bomb. It was a cool moment, like cool reaction, but
you can't have hot mics in a dugout or on the field in a baseball game.
If I was a manager, the last thing I want is to be doing an interview with, whoever from ESPN or Fox.
Yeah, early in the season for baseball, I think they kind of laid it out like Joey Votto when he was on his way out. You make the third inning, we're just going in the ear of the first baseman, having a conversation. Like guys trying to make plays while he's talking to the guys up in the box.
It went from being like an all-star game, like exhibition type thing,
regular season games,
season game where games matter.
Yeah, it's crazy. The media has to get their story. As aspiring people, in the media sphere, I'm not going to hate on it too much, but it's interesting, especially for a game of that magnitude.
To be said, if we had the opportunity to interview a coach mid-game, Woody Lewin Sports and you would definitely take that opportunity.
ESPN, I assure you, I would love to interview John Shire and Mark Pope if given the opportunity, and I would do it with a smile on my face. And I would get an answer that would get you some clicks. I can guarantee you that. Okay, so before we get too far in it, Dan, a lot of people have gotten pretty famous off doing reviews of different types of things. And no free ads here.
No.
On Woody Lou Sports and You. But me and Dan were on the phone talking earlier. He went on about how he could not get enough of this Liquid Death water. So, to my ignorance, I thought Liquid Death was an energy drink because it comes in a can, an aggressive can. It's like a tall boy.
Pretty aggressive logo.
Whenever Dan told me to grab a Liquid Death out of his fridge, I was concerned if I was grabbing Liquid Death with a Colt 45 that was right next to it. They bear a gleaming resemblance. So anyway, right here for the first time ever on Woody Lou Sports and You, and in my life, I'm going to pop open a Liquid Death and give you a live review. Dan, talk to the audience while I indulge myself.
Yeah, I can't explain it. Braxton and I were talking about it. I'm obsessed. I don't know if it's water in a can. I really enjoy it. I got a subscription to it, so I have a case of Liquid Death coming to my apartment every month. And Braxton had a sip. And what's the reaction?
So my favorite thing you just said, Dan, was it's water in a can.
Yeah,
because there's not a better way to describe what this product is. It's water in a fancy, looks like energy drink / tall boy beer can.
Yes.
I might as well be drinking an Aquafina right now.
But that's not a can.
So I think this really just shows how gullible. This is kind of like, it reminds me of whenever Jack Link's or the tobacco or the beef jerky company would start putting the beef jerky into the can. Yeah, it's water.
Yes.
Now, on a scale of water from 1 to 10, it's water. I can't give this a number. So if you want
their own.
I guess it's different. It's cool, but I wanted to get that out of the way. It was staring me in the face. It is indeed a flat water. This is no gas. To tap water. It's more refined.
It's spring water.
It's more in line with a Fiji or a Voss, if you will.
Yeah.
It's better than Deer Park. It's in between. I'd say Aquafina and Fiji. It's water. It is literally
It's delicious. I love it. No free ads.
No free ads. Liquid Death. I would really like it if conditions were different. So there's that, Dan. Moving in, talking about Mark Pope, I think we have to mention how much.
I pay $15 a month for a pack of 18.
Oh my God, it's highway robbery.
12-ounce cans.
Are you proud of that?
Yes.
Do they sell it at Costco?
They probably do.
You live 10 feet from a Costco?
Yes.
You can go 10 feet to that Costco and get a case of 48 water bottles for like $12.
But they're not in a can.
They're not in a can. I will not argue that. So anyway, we're talking Mark Pope. Awesome guy. He's living the dream. He is, the first Mormon to kind of come into prominence in the state of Kentucky, which is exciting.
We have Elder Lewis over here was talking about how if Kentucky were to beat Duke, he was going to convert.
So I may have mentioned that. I was high on the Mormons. So I before the game, my wife was on a girls' night out, so I put my girls down, and the Kansas-Michigan State game became mildly interesting to me. So I was alone. I decided to fire up the Xbox. I turned on NCAA 24 or 25 rather. And I wanted to do a Road to Glory or something to burn time. I had the pregame nerves. I was kind of shaken, just kind of nervous about the game. So I created a quarterback who, I can't help it. When I looked at my college offers, my best offer was BYU to go be a Cougar.
Yep.
So anyway, I enrolled in BYU. I played about 2 games before the Kentucky game came on.
Did you like Provo?
Loved it. Electric crowd. FCS Midwest really never had a chance with me at the helm. Some
You're
people,
Big 12, man.
Yeah. A lot of people call me the second coming of Joseph Smith. I don't know. That's what they said. True. I don't know. I'm not going to argue. So anyway, we had huge momentum coming out of BYU straight into the Kentucky game where we watched Mark Pope put on a masterclass of coaching, just out-coached John Shire, outperformed the entire Duke basketball organization. So now I'm thinking, got the college football playoffs going on, right? It's coming up. It's looming. Got a couple games left in the regular season.
BYU is very much in the mix.
BYU's in the mix. Kentucky's not in the mix.
No.
And after my comments I made prior to the game, how I'd pretty much, give it all to Joseph Smith if Kentucky was able to pull off that win, I think I'm all in on BYU in the college football playoffs. So all in that no one's more excited if they're 10-15 Eastern kickoff this Saturday against Kansas than me. I will be up and I will watch every play. I'm all in on BYU.
It's an upset watch alert, Kansas BYU.
I am even less worried about Kansas football program as I was Cooper Flagg going into Champions Classic, and we saw how that played out. So I really think I'm going to go with the Cougars. Who are you thinking for the college football playoff, Dan? Because obviously
the horse I'm going to ride through the whole playoff.
For the viewers at home, his alma mater is in the bracket right now.
Yep.
Okay, so who are you going for? Who are you rooting for?
I got to pull up. Let me pull up the bracket really quick.
So first out is going to be Georgia.
Yeah, so first out right now, Georgia, SMU, and then we'll go 1 through 12. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana, BYU, Tennessee, Fighting Irish, Miami, Alabama, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. And then for our viewers at home,
Mississippi State.
Sorry, Ole Miss.
Thank you.
My bad. University of Mississippi,
Yep.
Oxford.
Difference.
But that ranking doesn't necessarily mean the seeding. So it's the 4 major conference champions are seeded 1 through 4 based on their rank. So it's the winner of the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, and the ACC.
Yeah, I think they know that. Who are you rooting for?
Oh.
Man? Is it going to be your alma mater, or are you jumping ship?
Well, I'm obviously rooting for Notre Dame, but
So you're going all in on Notre Dame.
But if you're asking for me as a betting man for a horse I'm going to ride from the either if they get a first round bye or first round through the championship to be the first 12 team playoff champion, the horse I'm going to ride, Texas.
Texas.
Hook 'em.
Dan, this is what I can do for you.
Okay.
We like to gamble here responsibly. Not a lot of money involved. I'm betting you BYU makes it further in the college football playoff than Texas. If Texas makes it further, I will buy you a Texas Longhorn shirt or some type of apparel.
Okay.
If BYU wins or goes further, you got to get me some BYU gear.
I'll agree to that deal. I look great in burnt orange. I can't wait for you to buy me probably a polo or maybe a PFG Texas Longhorn.
Yeah, I mean, a little Peter Millar.
Ooh.
If this is because of Peter Millar bet, a lot more is at stake. Some emotions might change. Drop in the comments who you think is going to win in our bet. He's got Texas, so I'm really glad. If it tells you anything about Daniel here on the podcast, he's not loyal. Not a lot of people are calling him loyal these days to his program, his alma mater.
There's a difference.
Because when you think about it, I'm the most loyal because Kentucky football is out of it. So then the next logical thing is, hey, so who else is close to Kentucky? Well, Mark Pope is the coach. He is Mormon. There's a Mormon school. It makes sense, right? I'm loyal. I'm
Right.
pretty much, this is like.
Yes, that is, I would say, a characteristic of you that describes Christopher Braxton Lewis is loyalty.
So if BYU is it really becoming UK of the West? Some people are saying that's like a satellite campus.
Satellite campus in Provo,
Big
Lexington. Okay.
Yeah. So me and Kaylee have been talking about our mommy daddy trips. I think she's talking Maine. Me and Max were talking about taking the wives to Vegas. I think it might go to Provo. And then while we're there,
Hey, you can't drink there. Watch out.
Well, a lot of soda bars. I don't know if you've been watching the Mormon Wives show.
I've not been watching it, but I understand the no caffeine soda. Yeah.
So I would argue, I think they do indulge in caffeine in the show, at least.
Not at BYU, they don't.
So I'm not saying on campus, but I'm saying the residents, they drink a lot of soda.
Your father's BYU. He is.
I think he's a BYU guy now too. I mean, catch Chris at the Temple. I don't know, dude. They drink a lot of soda. Okay, Gavin, this is a family show. Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. So, like Dan said earlier, we recorded on Sunday after our hiatus, and then we kind of rushed back to another show this week because Dan's going to be leaving us, going out to do some training out of state. We were in such a rush to get to the show today that Woody decided to get pulled over by law enforcement. All I know is I got a text that said, "When are you going to be at my house?" I said, "I'll let you know." The next text was, "Great, I'm getting pulled over." That's all I know. So, Dan, how would you go on and explain to us the story of you getting apprehended or pulled over today?
Yeah. So, again, unlike some members of the WSNY team, namely producer Colin, I was very eager to get home, get the studio set up for recording. And I was also on the phone with my mother because I do enjoy talking to her on my ride home, catching up. And just in my excitement and having a very good conversation with Lynn, my mom, just lost track of where I was on State Highway 144 and got myself caught going allegedly 55 in a 40 mile per hour zone.
55 and a 40.
Allegedly.
So you had just gotten off the post area.
Oh, I got pulled over right after
Second Brigade?
the Second Brigade. PX.
55 and a 40.
Allegedly.
And there's a stoplight right there. So you must have really gunned the Mazda after that stoplight. There's two stoplights that are kind of coming out of that 40 zone.
My foot might have been a little heavy.
Allegedly heavy. So
speed traps. This is okay. This is important. Thank you for bringing that up. You trained law enforcement officer. So the cruiser was going the opposite, so 2-lane road was going the opposite way
Yes.
and pulls a Yui
Yes.
and pulls me over.
Correct.
I have only seen, like, how does the radar work in that situation?
So your radar is so in the at least this is how it was in the cars I was in. Your radar is facing out of the windshield.
Okay.
You can have it forward facing. You have a rear facing.
Okay.
You get forward facing. So imagine you got your radar there. It gets calibrated.
Okay.
You have a screen where you set the actual speed. So like you'll have like your actual speed and like target speed, and then it'll have like someone's crossing speed, right? So as you were coming at him and you hit that angle of that sensor, it flashes up what you're going. And then they also have sound, higher pings that correlate with higher speeds. So like, yes, you can be crossing each other and he can track you.
While he's moving.
Yes.
All right. I'm not a physicist.
So you think that might mess the calibration of the radar?
If this were to go to a body to adjudicate, I would talk about that. Again, not a legal podcast. I would hammer, because I can persuade a jury that he's going this way, I'm going that way. There ain't no way they're figuring out how fast I'm going.
Even though every police officer, tuning forks, that's what they are. Even though everyone in the world has, like, every police department does the same thing every day and gives tickets the same way.
You got to persuade a jury that.
You think yours was unique?
No.
No, but you have to convince the jury of that.
Correct.
Okay. 55 and 40. You know, I love.
However, well, I want to finish the story.
Yeah, finish. I want to talk about. I want to hear their approach to the conversation.
So, one of our listeners, Mr. Lewis, said he got sick. I'm very sorry to hear that. I thankfully got away with a warning. So it was a very good day for yours truly. Again, not a legal podcast, but I think best practice when you get pulled over. I was very cordial. Didn't admit anything.
Not a legal podcast.
Didn't admit anything. But it's just, very polite. Had my hands on the wheel.
10 and 2.
You could see my hands.
Did you pre-po your license, registration, insurance on the windshield?
Nope.
No, no moving around.
No, not until I was told to. I don't do anything until I'm told to.
Fair enough.
So try to give him my military ID because I'm a little nervous. He's like, sir, I don't need that.
It doesn't tell him if you can drive or not.
No. Then fumbled around for my registration for a bit. Thankfully, had that in the glove box. He went back to the cruiser and he said, "Hey, sir, I just need you to slow it down." I was like, "I can do that."
What rank?
He was a PFC.
Nice. Kaylee got stopped yesterday for an inspection and.
Oh, like the gate inspection?
Yeah. And I wasn't with her. I was behind her, actually. And whenever they stopped her, they asked for the insurance registration in the truck. She's in the truck. And she's fumbling. Said she couldn't find the registration insurance. And the guy just says, "Is it digital? Like on your phone?"
Yeah. She's
like, "Yeah, like the insurance is for sure." I sent it to her. As soon as I saw her get pulled over, I sent her the insurance because she didn't have it. He's like, "Is the registration digital too?" And she goes, "No, it's not." He's like, "Okay, I believe you. You're fine." This is never even verified it. And I was like, did that make you feel any safer about your, the protection? Not really.
No,
but it happened. Both my daughters were in a complete tizzy.
Yeah, it's not fun. It took a while too. Like I was pulled over for probably 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Yeah, they might have been new. It was 2 PFCs.
2 PFCs together.
Yeah,
that's a good recipe. That's a good recipe. I'm sure one has a lot of experience doing this.
I will say this too. They were very cordial. Not very, very respectful. As far as motor vehicle stops go, not pleasant, but
sure.
I would say it was a good interaction.
My first time I ever got pulled over, I had my license for 2 weeks. My dad gave me his truck. Me and my buddy were driving out. This is in Alabama. And we stopped for fuel. So I filled up my truck. Come out. We're at a stoplight. I turn left. I'm driving for all of 30 seconds.
Oh.
Blue lights pop up. So we get pulled over. I'm freaking out. Mainly freaking out because I had a bag of Levi Garrett in the truck, and I thought I was gonna get arrested for underage tobacco consumption, allegedly. So I knew it wasn't speeding. So this Alabama State trooper walks up, and God, he wasn't having a good day. Bless his heart. He walks up, and he's like, "No, I pulled you over." And now I would say no. Back then, I was like, I said, "Well, I wasn't speeding." He goes, "No, you weren't." I said, "Okay, that's good." I was like, "I got a tail light out." No tail light out. I was like, "Sir, I'm out of gas. That's all I got for you." He goes, "How about you roll that window up a little bit for me?" I said, "All right." Rolled it up. He pops that machine.
Oh, yep. I know exactly where you're going.
And he goes, "I need you to read that number for me." I said, "That says 5." Said, "State of Alabama, that number better be 32." I said, "All right."
All right, sir.
So then he wrote the ticket thing. We had to get the tent stripped back to legal amount and then go to the courthouse and have a trooper verify it. So my dad pays to get the tent back to whatever. My dad goes with me to the courthouse. And then when we go up, we just said, "Hey, we're here for the tent." And I'm pretty sure they said, "Okay, you're good." And then we left and no trooper verified it. And we really it was off or not.
Yeah, in the chat.
What we got in the chat?
You want to read that for us?
What the hell? I didn't think you started tobacco until college. Well, I mean, that wouldn't be true. That would not be true. I'm pretty sure I've told the story. God, we're off the rails.
Yeah, we got we can Brewster Collin.
I know, everyone has their first time. First time stories are always fun. First time. I guess I was a freshman in high school, and boys on the baseball team had a can of Skull Peach, and they said, "Hey, freshman, you want a pinch?" And I said, "I'll tell them, or I'll do it." And took a pinch of Skull Peach. It was fine. I didn't throw up or anything. And then that same senior came up to me. He was like, "Hey, do you want to get you some more dip?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take some, man." Trying to be cool. He's like, "All right, you want a log?" And I was like,
You had no idea what that meant.
"No clue." I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'll take a log." He's like, "All right." So he goes and gets it. He's like, "All right, man, it's like, $25." I was like, "For a can?" He's like, "I got you a log." It's like 5 things. I remember we were playing in a dish.
How long that log last you?
I don't think I ever dipped it. I think he ended up getting it back.
Just gave it back.
We had a can. Me and my buddy Sam, after games, we would drive to the shop at the gas station, throw a pinch in. And when I mean pinch, I mean the smallest amount, or there might be specks on their tongues, and we're trying to be cool about it.
Were you going? Was it dit or the pouches, or it was?
No, this was long cut Skull
okay.
Peach, and then I kind of stopped it. I didn't continue. Got to Alabama, and then from Alabama transitioned to the Levi Garrett, the longleaf tobacco with bubble gum. We do at baseball practice.
Yeah.
And then from there, Grizzly Wintergreen entered my life.
Yeah, that was it.
She's the devil. Gosh.
Now I have never ever put a lip in.
Okay.
Yep. No, I got scared straight in 10th grade health class. They showed us. That's how old I am. It was one of those actual slide machines with the light and the click.
Correct.
And they showed us photographs of lip cancer, and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Just raw bone and nerve exposed from the gum receding. And after seeing that, I have never ever wanted to throw a lip in. No judgment for anyone that does. Just not for me.
No free ads. Black Buffalo, if you wanted to help me get off
okay,
off of long cut, and you wanted to give me that tobacco-free long cut. I mean, we're open. I know you work with a lot of Barstool guys, but we're up and coming. No free ads. So anyway, Boy, where do we go from here, Dan? Talking about tobacco stories.
Well, yeah, I think a popular activity that people consume tobacco is golf, and you have a big week of golf coming up. But I failed to mention this on our catch-up episode that we did, episode 3, this past weekend. After my wilderness adventure in West Virginia, went to my annual college buddies golf trip in Pinehurst. So each year we get a house in Pinehurst and play about 72 holes of golf. We're not playing Pinehurst, not quite there yet. Woody Loon Sports making it big would really help with actually playing at Pinehurst.
That'd make things more accessible to us.
Yep.
Especially with our level of play, we need some leverage.
So subscribe, send me your friends.
like, subscribe, share, rate us on Spotify.
So that leads to my question.
Yes.
First question. I know you're going to talk about your golf competitions coming up, but college buddies trip, what's the format?
How many people was it?
We were supposed to have 12, but one guy had to drop out. So it was 11.
So I think it solely depends on the group of friends that you have.
Okay. And we have one guy that's a single-digit handicap, then a few that are will shoot mid 80s, and the rest, including myself, are absolute hacks.
I think, if you're there over a span of days and the Redskins are about to get safety, if you're there for a span of time, you have say you have 10 guys. So really, depending on the golf course, if they're cool about it, you could probably rock 5 and 5, a group of 5, group of 5.
Yeah, they weren't letting us do that.
They wouldn't?
No. It was fairly, it was not crazy round, tee time stacked on each other, but the courses were crowded.
Okay. Then, you'd have 4-4-2. You'd have to flip tees for the unlucky team who had to be the twosome, patch up somebody else. I would be big on, I think in that format, I would like the adrenaline of a stroke play, but also that's spread across, you got 3 groups at this point. However, if it was, say it was 8 guys, right? Mm-hmm. Match play for me. I love match play because I think match play provides opportunities for guys who can completely implode on a hole, the opportunity to find competitiveness throughout. And then also, whenever you're doing stroke play, if it's a bloodbath on hole 15, 16, match play allows there to be a world where the day's done at 15. Let's call it. Let's go drink some beers and have a day.
Yeah. So what we ended up doing was we had captains. We had the 2 worst handicaps were the captains.
I like that.
And drafted squads. And we did, so it was 6-on-5. And we just kind of rotated pairings. And sometimes it kind of sucked. There was a round where it was 1-on-2. And it was match play based on your handicap.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's
and just overall the weekend, the different matches, we added those together. It was really fun. I thought it was a really good format, especially for having that weird number and the varied skill level.
So I was gonna say that I think something that would be fun. I don't think you want to call a winner. If you go into the weekend with one set team, this might be a personal thing. I think it'd be fun to go into a 3-day golf trip. Okay. And once teams are established, that's your team. It's it's an actual event. We're playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's not a winner announced till that last round Sunday. And I don't really know, you might know more than me how you could finagle that, but I think that'd be really fun. So now you and your buddy or you and your foursome, how many people are there? Y'all are locked in.
Yeah.
Now there's some, we're talking trash. Right. We're trying to, give people laxatives and stuff. It gets a little different there.
And what was fun though, because we're all over the country, and I only see these guys, once a year. Some of them. Now that weddings are starting to thin out a little bit, not seeing this crew so much. Was we had our team, so we drove we had 2 cars, we got 2 Tahoes or whatever. And we would drive as a team together at 6 and 5, and that was a squad for the weekend. But you got to rotate. I played with everyone for the most part in different foursomes.
That's cool. That's also fun. Now, it'd be unfortunate Because if you're in a group of guys of 10 dudes and like maybe one of the friends isn't as close with the other guy, then somehow they get paired up and now they're stuck for the whole weekend. That could almost indirectly not ruin someone's trip, but make it not as enjoyable after they spend usually a considerable amount of money, a decent amount of money to enjoy themselves.
Yeah, it was a blast. It was really fun.
That's good. I haven't been on one. We tried to plan a couple, and depending on who you ask, I might have been the reason they fell through, but. I would really enjoy to go on one. I think going on a golf trip is an easier sell to the wife than most other things because at least like she might not like golf during the week, but I think Kaylee would understand like, hey, this is not just a golf trip. This is a reunion.
Yeah, exactly.
So really, it's a reunion, and we just happen to be playing golf. Because I would respect her wishes if she wanted to do a reunion with her girlfriends.
Yep.
And then they're not playing golf, but they're doing whatever they're doing.
And Pinehurst, like we this is now the third year we've done it. So I was there year 1. I missed year 2 due to Poland. That was a tough weekend, FOMO. But with Pinehurst, it's just like we've gotten different Airbnbs each time. But it's just incredible. Like it's just built for golf weekend. There's so many courses, restaurants. The Airbnbs are like they're golf weekend houses.
No free ads.
No free ads.
Producer Colin played TPC Sawgrass, and he was telling us we were in the office the other day, and he was just talking about his experience playing at TPC Sawgrass, and we asked him how he did on 17. And this is the story he gave, and I wish Colin was here to tell the story. He got showed to work to do that.
This is the famous Island Green, TPC Sawgrass. Very cool hole.
So he's playing. He's in a foursome. He's randomly grouped. Right, his wife got it for him. Like welcome back.
I would hate that.
Yeah,
playing Sawgrass as he's random in a foursome.
Yeah, he didn't know anybody in the foursome. They all have caddies. They're walking it, whatever. Right. So he gets up there. He says when he's in the tee box, he's looking. I don't know the yardage he gave me, but he said he was between a 7 and 8. He didn't know if he wanted to pull 7 or 8. And the caddy said, well, this is where Justin Thomas
that helps.
Took out a 50. Yeah. He took out his 56 degree in the wind, and then one time Justin Thomas in the wind took his 5-wooder and just hit a baby fade that played against the wind and got on the green. So he's telling him all these like scenarios of what JT's done.
JT, a top 150 golfer.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Colin's like, I'm just standing there. I'm like, this is making it so much worse.
Yeah.
So he said he grabs his 8-iron, walks up. He alleges wind is just busting in his face. So he opts for the 8 instead of 7 for whatever reason. So he hits it, great trajectory, and then just ploop. He's like 5 feet from the island, hops in the water. So they're telling him, hey, man, like, take on a shot. He's like, okay, I'm taking out 7. He said, same swing, same conditions, ball flight. And he said that one sailed 20 feet past the green. So then he didn't shoot again. He walks up, and I was like, so what'd you do? Said, well, all the guys tell me, hey, man, like chip on, put it out. Like you're only here once for some people. Didn't even finish it out. Fair foul.
That's fair.
That's fair?
Yeah, you sink 2. Like, you're out of the hole.
It's a casual game, though. You're playing TPC Sawgrass.
I mean, it's a casual game, but like TPC Sawgrass, it's not about like putting on. It's all about the tee shot on 17.
But you still want to finish out the hole?
I don't think it's foul not to.
Okay. No, I've done worse.
Yeah.
Way worse, or not as nice.
And speaking of which, you want to talk about the competition next week?
Yeah. So next week is Martin week for the 3rd Infantry Division, and pretty much it's a week where
it's like a field day, kind of.
We're a premier fighting force, so we also like to play games.
Compete to win.
These games range from pickleball to bunko,
video games
to Madden to
billiards,
soccer to ping pong,
boxing. We got boxing. We got a boxing ring.
We have a fight night Monday night. Kaylee, haven't told you yet. We're going to fight night at the division headquarters. They've dropped a boxing ring, and they're having smoke and like walkouts.
And the Martin Rock Band's playing.
They tried to get me to fight in the heavyweight division, 190 to 215.
Who?
Like they.
Okay.
And I said,
they wanted you to fight?
They wanted me to fight in the heavyweight division. I would get murdered. And
Yeah, that George Foreman thing going on right now with the haircut.
And they were like, "You got it." And I was like, "I weigh 190. They're gonna send a kid out there who sits like 230 and cuts down for it. I'm gonna get smoked." So I'm not doing that, but I want to go watch it because I like boxing.
Yes.
It'd be a great segue from Jake Paul, Mike Tyson tomorrow night together. We'll talk about that later.
Yep.
But anyway, so they got fight night.
They have golf.
Tuesday, Wednesday, they got golf. 2-day event. And I'm on a team. Producer Colin created the team for us. So producer Colin is the team owner. I'd argue I'm the team manager. So it's Colin, myself,
and some sticks.
One who was on Kulu, who played for the All Marine, All Army golf team, and then Serp. He's really good for a normal guy. He's really good. I'd say he's like in that 4 to 7 range. But we got a problem. So it's a 2-day scramble. We play on one day. So writing's on the wall, right? The first day, Tuesday, we're Group A. First to tee off, 7:30.
Is there an elimination? Like, does everyone make it to day 2?
No cut.
No cut.
But they made us. We're Group A. We're the first to tee off at 7:30 on Tuesday. Last to tee off 12:30 on Wednesday.
I thought they would reorganize it so the leaders
normally tee off last.
Exactly.
So that's what I think. I think the writing's on the wall. However, I'm concerned I won't be a part of the tee time because I'm in the office and I got people coming up to me saying, "Hey, I heard you weren't playing anymore. Or I heard you had this thing going on," and that
are they just like gaslighting you?
I think there's a mutiny occurring, and I think Kulu and Serp are trying to get me and Colin off.
That's a pretty weighty allegation against your teammates.
Mutiny. It's a mutiny. I run a pirate ship.
That's true.
They have started going to the driving range for lunch.
Yeah. Martin duty day. Yep.
The people who are alleged to be replacing me and Colin have been going with them to the driving range at lunch.
Do you feel like you're being cheated on?
I feel like we're being ousted. I feel like I am like a dictator. Not a dictator. I feel like I'm a man of power. There's a revolution occurring, and I'm being ousted without me. There's a coup d'etat. Coup d'etat occurring, and I can't do anything about it. Word got out that I'm participating in dodgeball on Monday, and I had said if we went undefeated in dodgeball and we had a championship game on Tuesday, maybe I'd consider stepping down. They took that and ran. I should have never brought it up. They've already sent a text saying they're going to the range tomorrow and they expect all teammates to be there.
Whose team is this?
I thought it was mine and Colin's, but apparently the guys are actually good.
They have a lot of hand in this relationship.
And I said I'm a glue guy, right? Last time we played a scramble at
right.
Taylor Creek, I made about 80 feet of putts that day.
Yep.
And I told them, I was like, where would y'all be with? And we came in second. We lost by a stroke. Shot a 52, true 52. I said, where would you have been without me making those putts? And they're like, well, if we didn't have you, we probably would have been closer to the pin to begin with. That's what they said back to me. Oh, that hurts.
You're a sensitive guy, too.
Yeah. I'm not sensitive. I'm loyal, and it hurts when I feel like.
That's right.
I say things personally.
Yes.
Because I care.
Yes.
Because I care.
You care.
Yeah, so that's going on.
That's kind of mean.
Yeah.
You guys are on the same team.
Yeah, the cohesions. And I had already said, like, I'm getting biscuits at 06 that day. So they're trying to get the biscuit guy out. I'm providing breakfast.
Your sustenance.
You need the team. The glue guy is the food guy. I said, hey, I'm getting Bojangles biscuits. I'll be in line at 06.
Wait, how'd you say that?
Bojangles.
Is that
Bojangles.
I understand. But is that like the Spanish Bojangles?
Never caught it?
No.
Okay.
Well, we don't really have Bojangles up in New England.
That's sad. You got Cooper Flags, though. It can't be Kentucky. So we, I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to go to Bojangles, get his biscuits about 6, be back there about 6:45, hit the range, 30 minutes, 7. They're trying to get me out of the biscuit guy. So we'll see what happens.
We'll have an update next. Woody Lou Sports and you on Titan golf team.
I think we can win. If we don't win, we're definitely the odds-on favorite to win. The reason we lost last time was we had one hole. But, Dan, here's a question for you. So for this scramble, it's obviously like a winner takes all. It is a scramble. I acknowledge that. I found out today they're keeping the gimmicks though,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel like whenever you're doing something where like this is a strict competition
Yeah,
based.
this isn't a fundraiser, but
Correct. The gimmicks should be out of.
yeah, I agree.
They're still doing the
Buying the mulligans.
buy the mulligans,
I don't like that.
the automatic.
'Cause that's not it's whoever has the deepest pockets potentially.
Correct.
You should be able to buy a win.
They have the hole in one if you hit the green. They got the Tiger Drive where you start off on like a par 4 or 5.
Oh, you can put it wherever.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
start 200, 250 down, like you're only like 80 out. So
It's not charity.
it's not, but they're always trying to make that money. And
Yep.
I'm not paying.
It's just going straight up.
No, I'm not. I mean, straight up enough, It'll be a fair amount. I guarantee it, though. Mark my words. Someone's walking out with like a 48, 47. And it's going to be.
And is it so by scramble? That has different meanings. I feel like
Best ball.
right. Okay, best. So
No, it's all confusing.
yes.
The
So
format,
everyone's playing their own ball, but whoever scores the best, or are you taking the best shot?
No, best shot. So,
So everyone shoots and then you pick.
yeah.
Got it.
I get confused if that's scramble or best ball.
Well, that's where it is
It
confusing.
is because I think the language is like misleading.
I think it depends part of the country where you are. Like scramble means like different things.
We're all teeing off. Pick the best ball out of that group.
Yeah.
We all hit from that location.
Yes.
So on and so forth.
I think that's a scramble, and I think best ball is
Who-
you
best ball in
play
the
whoever's
group.
the best score.
Correct.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. I'm really fired up for it. If I don't get fired,
What they should do, in my recommendation, but no one really listens to me at 3ID, is a bramble. You ever heard of that?
no, talk to me.
So a bramble is you do that scramble format. So everyone takes a tee shot,
Okay.
and you pick the best tee shot, and then everyone plays their own ball in for best ball.
So you just marry the two together.
Exactly.
Okay.
But like some people are like, it's fun because people get to play their ball, but usually where people get wayward is the tee shot. So when you take that out of it, you're gonna get hopefully one of 4 like good tee shots.
You can only hope so.
Yeah,
That's
that's the idea of the bramble.
I'm excited for it though, because as we get older, I think you know this. You don't get to compete like you did in high school. You don't get to play
No.
sports. So the only time I feel alive, like have any competitive juices flowing, is out on the golf course, and I'm not that good. So it makes me sad they're trying to oust me. That's why I'm not. I'm a big diversify your portfolio type of guy. So I found myself on the dodgeball team.
Yeah, what's that look like? 5-on-5?
I don't know what rules we're going with. We're playing outside, which concerns me. I think wind might be a factor.
Yes,
I think dodgeball is an indoor sport.
it's got to be on a basketball court,
I mean, it's
a
just
gymnasium.
Am I wearing cleats for when we go to the middle to get the ball? I feel like I might need a cleat.
What time to start?
Start in the morning,
What time?
like 9:00.
Should be okay then. If it was earlier than 9,
So I'm
it's a little
nervous.
dewy.
I'm gonna go to get it. I'm gonna slip on my shoes, and now I've torn an ACL. We're outside.
Yeah, you'll be found in line of duty.
That's good for me, right?
That's very good.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going.
Not a legal podcast.
Not a legal podcast, allegedly. I'm gonna go hard for that ball in the center of that field.
How's the shoulder feeling?
The wing. Don't think I've thrown anything since that Nerf ball in Poland. Remember that?
I do.
That Nerf ball in Poland is the last thing I've thrown probably. So I'm gonna have to get the wing a little loose.
I'd recommend that.
James is confident. Talking to James, he's the one who kind of like coerced me into agreeing to do it. He said, we can catch and we can throw.
Yeah,
So-
that's a big part of
That's a
dodgeball.
big part of it. And he's
Yeah.
like, he said his favorite part about it is it's a team sport of individuals. It's like baseball kind of.
Mm.
Like you're all on the same team, you all want to win, but like no, you can't really help each other. You have
No,
to dodge that ball.
You have to dodge that ball. Ooh, I mean, you catch it and get your partner back in.
Yeah, it's just like an outfielder making a good play to get their pitcher out of a jam.
Exactly. Individual plays for the good of the team.
Yeah. So when you think about it, dodgeball has a lot of parallels to baseball. We thought about that a little bit.
That's interesting. I'd never thought about that, but that's pretty spot on.
Yeah, I mean that's what I do. I think about cool stuff like that.
When was the last time you played dodgeball?
High school dodgeball. We were in a tournament. We all wore Hawaiian shirts. I'm pretty sure we came in like last.
We used to play a lot at the OSJA for sports PT.
Really?
Yep. Until, fortunately, one sergeant didn't bring the dodgeballs and brought like volleyballs, and
I don't like volleyball.
people didn't like that.
I don't like volleyball.
They left some marks on.
Oh, because they were throwing them too hard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair enough. I guess
It was very funny.
It's the same difference, right? So anyway, I just saw in the chat that I'm a juvenile delinquent. I think I resent that statement.
This is related to your underage tobacco consumption that you thought you were going to be arrested for.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Well, you kind of admitted to it.
I did.
I think the statute of limitations has run on you. Not a legal podcast.
Not a legal podcast. That was 11 years ago. No, so yeah, guys. Thursday night football is going on. Commanders will have a 7-0 lead. Kentucky proved to be a more dominant team against Duke. Took Cooper Flag out of it. Some are calling him Pooper Flag, allegedly. The Kentucky's back. Looking forward to a huge weekend in football. BYU, Kansas, 10-15.
Georgia, Tennessee. I
think that has huge implications. Georgia really needs to pull that one out, and so does Tennessee.
I mean, everything's going to change, but Notre Dame is slated to play in Knoxville right now if the season were to end today. And as far as like the first round draws, that is the worst draw I think a team could get.
That crowd would eat you guys alive.
Yes.
Tennessee and Notre Dame, I don't think they mesh.
No.
Would you go to that? That would be kind of cool to go to, though.
I didn't actually think about that. I try to.
It's not too far.
No.
Not too far.
I would try to.
Check it through Atlanta. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Kentucky's got a big one against Murray State.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know. This is actually pretty rude of me, knowing how much you love Big Blue. Bowl eligibility. Is that still what's going on?
Nope. No.
Are they eliminated from the bowl?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh boy.
We can win.
But I mean, if you beat Louisville, like that's good. Like,
yeah. Mark Stoops came out and said he's not going anywhere, which I'm cool with. And I think my dad got mad at me because I was telling him I can live.
He was mad at you for chewing dip when you were 17.
I can live with Kentucky going, 4-8, 5-7, 6-6 a couple times if the basketball team's good.
Sure. Now
you couple a 4-8 season with a 22-12 first round elimination basketball season.
What's kind of happened with Calipari in the last few years?
While the Titans are winning 4 or 5 games and the Braves are getting bounced by the Phillies or the Dodgers in the playoffs, that's a bad year for Braxton.
Yeah,
it's a rough one.
We got NASCAR though.
Got NASCAR. I'm
not this season.
So happy.
This is
so happy. Joey Logano pulled that out. He needed it. I mean, you got to pay for the hair plug some way, so. Win the Cup championship is good for Joey. I can't stand that 22. I didn't think he was going to win.
Why is that?
I don't know. I thought Blaney was going to, and then
it seemed like it was Blaney's year.
You texted me that, and I was driving, and I turned the race on Sirius XM, and it wasn't no good results there.
And so Braxton, I do not consider myself a NASCAR guy, but living with Braxton in Poland, avid NASCAR fan, and then there was the Netflix show. I forget the name of it, but it was like 6 episodes.
It's a stupid name. Need for Speed.
I think it was. It was a video game, but it was something like that. Doing the 2023 playoffs.
There's the playoffs prior, or is it 2 years back?
When did it come? No, I think it was the 2023 playoff.
The Poland timeline just messes.
Yeah, it did. It did. Well, regardless. So I watched it, and I knew nothing of like the teams, but also like the local races. Like you could just have you don't have to be on the tour or the circuit, and you can enter a race by doing like a qualifier or something. And I thought that was just like a local guy being able to basically like qualifying for the U.S. Open.
The best thing about NASCAR and Dan is So like, my brother-in-law really got me into NASCAR, Gavin, and you're in a different country in Europe, and when you're in a different country and you're from America, typically all you can think about is how much you love America.
Yep.
So as February was coming up, Daytona's coming up, like that's easy to get
I'm
fired
going this year. I don't have tickets, but I'm going this year.
to start the season.
I'm going to go to Daytona. Yes.
I sent you my selfie in front of there. That's
No.
it.
Oh, when you did the
Yeah,
NASCAR experience?
yeah.
Yeah, you showed me that.
So anyway, I was telling Dan, hey, we gotta watch it. So we watched. Oh, actually, I think we missed Daytona because we were in.
We were in the middle of an exercise, yeah.
But we got back like 2 weeks after when we started the NASCAR run. And I
Yes.
think that was cool about this season was like the first like 3 races we could watch. We already had to stay up until like 9 or 10 for the race to start. Like the first 3 or 4 races that we actually watch on a Sunday all got rain delayed.
Mm-hmm.
And like we'd be sitting there waiting until like midnight 01 just to like try to watch the first stage or a little bit of it. But anyway, the cool thing about Dan, we talk NASCAR. He watches a race. I'd come up into the room. I just come in the room from work or working out or something, and he'd have like on a race from like 1954.
I'll start at the beginning.
And he was like, I have to start from the beginning to appreciate the now, which I would argue is a great trait to have in somebody. Unnecessary, but it was a great trait.
I'm a big history guy.
I found it
as a history major in college.
I found it endearing.
Yeah, NASCAR, the app has a great, like, the
Great app.
75, like, best races through the decades. So I started at number 1.
See, and Gavin pays for the app, so he stays in the car with Kyle Larson the whole time.
Oh, yeah, because you can do the individual, like, team radio.
Safe to say Kyle Larson friend of the podcast?
Well,
We were close to Kyle.
a little bit.
Kyle Larson might be a friend of the podcast. We have a connection to Kyle Larson. Don't be surprised if Woody Lee Sports and you pulls Kyle Larson. We'll see what Black Buffalo and Liquid Death think about that. No free ads.
But what I was going to say, so this was the first time watching the NASCAR playoff live, so to speak. And now I'm a historian, aspiring historian of stock car racing and its origins in bootlegging and moonshine. And it is very much like Southeast Virginia. I mean, the headquarters are in Charlotte. I do not like that the championship is in the desert in Phoenix.
I think you should start and end in Daytona.
Yes.
Start the season in Daytona. Finish the season in Daytona. I feel like it makes too much sense, but I'm sure a NASCAR aficionado probably knows there's a reason they don't. If there is a reason they don't, please educate me, but I feel like that makes a ton of sense.
Is it like, I don't know, Arizona, like, it's not a NASCAR hotbed. Or maybe they have
You have drivers from out west.
like an amateur like circuit out there, but like, yeah, you have that at Daytona, Talladega. It's like a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it should go to Daytona and finish out the season. But just like finishing out NASCAR season, I think we're going to wrap up episode 4 here. We're getting to that hour mark, Dan. I really enjoyed today's episode.
It was fun.
Off the rails again. I'm gonna stop apologizing for it. It's what we're talking about. To all of you who came in, listened, commented, I really appreciate you.
Yep.
Make sure you like, subscribe, share the videos on your Instagram, Facebook. As always, the Spotify will be uploaded. I'll share Spotify on socials. We'll have the link in the description. We'll have all the things. Like it, subscribe to it, rate it, comment on
Share
it, download it, share it, send it to anyone you know, send it to your contact list, send it to your work group chat, share it. And we appreciate you guys giving us your time.
Thank you. Braxton, when do you think we're going to be going live next? I am training
depends on
next
you.
week. Yeah. Try to get a Thanksgiving episode out, pre-Thanksgiving.
We'll get a pre-Thanksgiving episode out, get everyone fired up to have some
Spend some time with family and football. Woody Lewis Sports and you.
That's all we got. Thank you guys.